Hello, lovely people. This is Dimple Mehta, and you are listening to Our Quest. And today I'm going to talk about mindsets and parenting. If you like the episodes, please subscribe or follow. Please rate and review. That increases the organic reach of the podcast to the people who may find it useful. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Before I dive into mindsets and parenting, let me give you a quick recap about mindsets that we have already discussed in the previous episodes. So, there are basically two kinds of people, those of fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. The ones with fixed mindsets believe that they are born with certain fixed or permanent qualities, or skills, or talents, or personality, and that they must validate that and prove that they're successful. They don't generally like putting much efforts, and they don't like to accept failures either. On the other hand, those with growth mindsets strongly believe that whatever skills or qualities or talents or personality they want, they can acquire that over time with the right efforts in the right direction. They like challenges, they accept failures, and treat it as a part of the process of being successful. And of course, parents could have either of those mindsets. Now, I am a parent of a 16-month-old toddler, and I try my level best to raise him to the best of my capacity. I'm sure most parents want the best for their children. Sometimes, whatever we think is best for our child may or may not be it. So, let me share with you a small incident that happened the other day. I took my baby boy to the play area, and there were a few other kids playing. A kid of around 2 to 2.5 years of age was crying. Probably the mom or the nanny would have stepped aside for a bit, maybe, but this kid was like crying really bad. Now, while this kid was crying, I saw two other kids react very differently to it. One kid started making fun of the crying kid. He started pointing towards him and he started mocking, saying, "Hey, hey, cry, cry, baby," like that. That clearly showed that he was being raised by a fixed mindset parent as he was judging this crying kid, he was labeling the crying baby. Whereas another kid reacted to it by going to the kid, asking him what happened. He tried to comfort him a bit, and eventually they started playing together. Clearly, this kid was being raised by a growth mindset parent because he didn't judge or label, he tried to help in certain way. Now, I would like to assume that parents of both the kids have the best interest at heart for their kids. However, the one with the fixed mindset may not be aware how the kid is getting affected by their parenting. And look how innocently these kids pass the message that they are being raised in a certain way. Parents have the highest impact on creating the mindset that their kids would have. And it starts to get formed from the very early days, right when they're babies. The belief system starts forming, the subconscious and conscious mind starts forming. So, parents with fixed mindset give the message to the kids like, you're a good child if you share, or you're a bad child if you don't share. Or if you listen to me, don't play with fire, then you're good. Otherwise, you're bad. And so on. This is how a fixed mindset parent would be giving the message to their kids. The message that they're actually indirectly giving to their children are, hey, you have permanent qualities, and I am constantly judging and labeling you. Believe me, that's what the child takes as the message, whether you mean it or not. The parents with growth mindset, on the other hand, could be saying, hey, let's try sharing, that's a nice thing to do. Or let's avoid playing with fire, we might get hurt. The message that they are giving to their child is that you're a growing person and I'm interested in your growth. You're a developing person and I'm committed towards your development. Kids observe. Our words impact our children. Our actions impact our children. If we try to preach or teach something but do otherwise, kids are going to see that. They are such excellent observers. So, whatever you want your child to learn, you have to walk the talk. You have to lead by example. Now, let's take a second to think, what's the message that you are giving out to your child? Are you judging and labeling your kid, or are you developing and growing your kid? A short incident happened with my nephew. So, the other day he was just playing with crayons and he dropped it by mistake, the colors. It got scattered all over the floor. He saw that my brother, his dad, noticed that. He immediately got scared and said, "Oh my god, I dropped all the crayons. I'm so clumsy." My brother got shocked by that reaction. Like, you just dropped the crayons. Like, why do you have to react like that? So my brother goes like, "When you drop crayons, you don't say that." So this child innocently asks, "So what do you say, Dad, when you drop crayons?" And my brother says, "You just pick up the crayons." And the child is surprised. He's like, "And that's it?" And my brother goes like, "That's it." Isn't it simple? To avoid judging and labeling, to simply do the right thing. That's how simple it is supposed to be. Let's have a look at praises and compliments. We as parents want to load our kids with lots of praises and compliments to build their confidence and self-esteem. And why not? There's nothing wrong with that. But what sorts of praises? What kinds of compliments? Are you praising your child's talent or intelligence? Or are you praising your child's efforts and trial and process? When your child scored 100% in a quiz, probably your child won the quiz. Do you say you're smart? Well, then what your child interprets from that is that I am smart because I got that fast or I got that correct. Confidence built on such compliments are so fragile that they can be shattered by criticism. Because tomorrow, if your child can't be that fast or correct, he or she may think that I'm not smart anymore. Would you want that? No, right? What to do then? Probably how you can alternatively praise is, "You did some great research and preparation for the quiz. It showed. Congratulations on winning it." Instead of, "You're an excellent dancer," how about, "All those long hours of practicing the dance have finally helped you perfect the step. Bravo." Instead of, "You're such a great artist," how about, "I like how you chose those interesting color combinations and the interesting strokes you did. It's quite amazing." In this way, you're praising your child's efforts and practices and persistence in trials. This encourages and motivates them to keep working towards their goals in the long run and build their inner confidence that's steady and strong. Now, that's about handling success and praising and celebrating. How about handling failure? Failure can be so difficult to be handled by a child. They may already feel disheartened and discouraged, and in such a case, the parent needs to drive their thought process in the right direction. That's a lot to do. It's quite critical. If you have raised your child with a fixed mindset, your child may already be scared or afraid to share the news of the failure with you because they would assume that you would label them to be a loser or judge them to be bad. Definitely, that's a big no-no. You wouldn't want your child to be further shattered, right? So what to do? Should we protect our children from failure? Temporarily we can, but not in the long run. So what do we do then? When your child fails, if you react like, "Oh, I know you're the best. This test is not important. You would pass next time." You are simply protecting your child from failure and comforting your child. But that simply makes your child live in a bubble and doesn't teach your child how to accept failure and work towards success. So please, don't try to protect them from failure. How about, "Hey baby, I know you like that subject. I know you enjoy it. And I can understand you must be feeling terrible that you failed. Let's see what went wrong. Do we need to practice more? Do we need some coaching? Let's give it another shot by being better prepared. This time we are going to work on it together." This small little conversation between you and your child, it can change everything for your child. Believe me. There are so many wonderful things you're teaching your child by this. A. You taught your child it's okay to fail and we must accept it. B. We must retrospect what went wrong and work towards it. C. You're there to support your kid in their growth. D. When we try the next time, we can be successful. See how wonderful and impactful that growth mindset conscious parenting can be? Let's look at criticism and feedback. Children need honest and constructive feedback. If children are protected from it, they may not learn well. It could also harm their confidence in future. They might feel that negative feedback or coaching or advice are undermining. First of all, let's not confuse labels and negative bashing to be constructive criticism. Only that criticism that can help your child improve and grow is constructive. For example, your child lost the singing competition and you notice that their pitch is going wrong. So you tell your child, I saw that you did great with your tone and the tune and the pace. Just that particular pitch needs some work. Let's practice on that and we can win next time. You just need to be so careful and conscious with your child because their minds are so impressionable and you're their world. Everything you say or do matters a lot, so you definitely have to take care of what you're doing and saying. Parents also need to set the right goals and ideals for their children. When you raise a child with fixed mindset, you might be imposing judgments and putting pressure like you must be a doctor or you must be a lawyer or you must get into Harvard or you must always get the first position. Such kids can feel it's either this or that they have nothing. Whereas when you set goals or ideals with a growth mindset, you set those like whatever you do, give your best, excel in it. Above all, be kind to others, don't hurt anybody. Be the best version of yourself and keep improving. Such kids always reach excellent peaks of success as they're continuously putting efforts towards their goals. Parents can be the best or the worst influence. Don't give the message to your kids that you love them, but only on your own terms. Don't judge, teach. It's a learning process for you and your kids. Someday, when your kid would grow up, you might say, I am amazed at how incredible person my child has turned out to be. And that's possible when you raise your child with a growth mindset. I hope this helps parents who want the best for their children in the right way by fostering in their growth, learning, and interests.